Mr. Emamian, what are the key then risks to public spending if the government fails to increase the tax revenues sufficiently, especially in sectors like healthcare and social services?
Well, the point is you could cut public spending, but then there is so much you could cut. The issue is growing the economy. Her whole speech was about how she was going to raise money through taxes. Hardly she mentioned what is a strategy to improve the economy, to have a high growth economy. She didn't mention that at all in her speech. And the whole entire government has no idea how to grow the economy. So going back to public spending, you could cut back some of the public spending. Obviously, we have a very generous welfare system that could be addressed. But then much easier it is to grow the economy. And it doesn't take that much to grow it. You only have to look at what President Trump is doing to grow the economy. He's going around the world, attracting foreign investment into US, offering them access to plenty of cheap energy, deregulation, and also access to a large market and everything else. But you hardly see this government doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've alluded to the international, the American and the international trade and trends, but given the global pressures on inflation, also in the US, and supply chains, how will the UK budget address both domestic economic stability and the international economic uncertainties?
Well, the instability, it comes from low economic growth at 1%. And the deficit, the shortfall in the government is 5%. So there is a minus 4% that government is having a shortfall every year. So that is being added to the loan. Again, I go back. It is to grow that 1% to 5, 6, or even 8%. And for that, the way to do it is actually by deregulation. Cutting back 80% of regulations, going to basic only 20%. And that's the best form of tax cut you could give to businesses and allow businesses to grow, set people free. The problem is people on the left of politics, the governments, they think they know better. And they have so many regulations in terms of consumer protection that take your freedom and my freedom away. And they tell us what to eat, how to travel, what to do, what to wear, and how to spend our money. And that's not a free world. And everyone thought this was sorted out in 1980s, that market economy is the king. But again, we get backdoor to socialism through regulations. Regulations means communism and socialism. That's what it is.
Well, then how does the government plan to communicate these hard choices to the public to maintain the trust and the social cohesion during potentially a very difficult economic adjustment?
Well, thank you for your question. You mentioned the word trust. Right now, there is no trust. As I mentioned, there is no. Rachel Reeves has lost a lot of credibility last year. She lost a lot more credibility today. And I don't think she can continue beyond 6 months. So that's the way I see it. And once a chancellor loses credibility, that's 50% of the government. And I don't think they have solutions. Even the next chancellor, I don't think they have a solution because they're not committed to these changes. They're not even committed to have a energy policy right now. They're still committed to net zero. They talk about it that they want to remove it, but they never remove it. So we still are paying so much for our energy. So they're not committed. They're not serious about it. They're more interested about politicking. And also nowadays, it's all about short-term policies. They come in, they have a plan, they stay in office for 2 or 3 years, they make a name for themselves and they go. Otherwise, they don't have a mission like previous generations of politicians, where they were on a mission to improve the society.